Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, my dear students. After a break of about 4 days, today we are going to discuss the motivation. Now, what is motivation? There is tremendous research about this thing, motivation. What motivates the workers? Either it's only money or some other things which are there to motivate the people, to motivate the workers. Research has been carried out tremendously. A recent research by a cell phone company found that 85% of employees would be more loyal to their company if they were praised for their work, and 100% suggested that they would stay in their jobs longer if thanked more often and more effectively. So from this survey, we can see that the pay only is not the only factor to motivate the workers. There are many other factors for motivating the people so that they work effectively, efficiently, and stay longer in the organization, and they remain loyal with the organization. So first, we see what is the motivation. So motivation is defined as the inner drive that directs a person's behavior towards goals. So two factors, basically three factors are very important in this definition. The first one is the inner drive, means it is something which comes from within a person, and that something makes the behavior of that person. And what is the purpose? Purpose is to attain the goals. These goals are the goals of the organization as well, and the self goals as well, self objectives, self targets as well. So that behavior which directs a person towards attaining the goal, that is the motivation. So the processes that account for an individual's intensity, direction, and persistence of effort towards attaining a goal. Again, so three factors again here. First is intensity, other is direction, and the third is persistence. If we see what is intensity, means how hard a person tries. And what is direction? It means towards beneficial goals. And what is the persistence? Means how long a person tries. So these key elements are there for the motivation. Now, let's see a little bit detail of these three factors. So intensity, as we said, it is concerned with how hard a person tries. This is the element most of us focus on when we talk about motivation. So most of the time, we talk about the intensity. And if we see basically, it's a very important factor, means you have to try again to attain your goal, to attain your target. If firstly you fail in attaining your target, it doesn't mean that that is the end of the word. It means that you have to try again. And if you fail second time, it doesn't mean that it is again the end, but you have to try again. So it's very important that how hard you try, how hard a person try to attain his targets, objectives, goals. So direction is the orientation that benefits the organization. Since we are talking in the context of the organization, so direction, there should be direction. Without direction means the overall aim of the organization. So if aim is not there, you don't have any direction. So if you are working hard without any direction, so it means you are losing your effort. You are not going to attain something. And the third element is the persistence. Means it's a measure of how long a person can maintain his or her effort. So motivated individuals stay with the task long enough to achieve their goal. So here you can see that motivation plays again a very important role, but in attaining the goals. Persistence, you remain with your task, you remain with your effort, you keep on working to attain your targets. So that is persistence. So these three elements, which are, you can say, the variables of this motivation, are very important in the motivation. So motivation means the desire of workers to see a job done quickly, effectively, and efficiently. Again, it's again a definition you can say. So the most motivated people, the most motivated workers in an organization help organization to attain its goals, its aims in a more efficient way, in a more effective way. And unmotivated staff will be a problem for the organization because they doesn't like to work. They don't want to have any type of work with them. They don't like to complete tasks and so on. So what are the indicators of poor staff motivation? So there are, research has suggested that some indicators tell us that whether the staff is motivated or not. So these indicators are, the first one is the absenteeism. Means if you are deliberately showing absence for which there is no reason, there is no explanation, it means you are basically not motivated towards your work. You are trying to avoid the work, and therefore you are deliberately showing absence from your work. So the first indicator is absenteeism. Lateness. Lateness means when you are reaching office late, when you're doing your tasks late, in the given time, you are not completing your work assignments, and it becomes, if it becomes habitual, it means that you are poorly motivated. The third indicator of poor staff motivation is the poor performance. Means you are working there, but you are not working up to the mark. You are showing poor quality of your work. You are wasting your time. You are wasting the materials. You are performing very poorly. It means, again, that you are poorly motivated. Accidents, the fourth indicator is, means you are paying less concentration on your work, you are careless, you don't bother to take the precautionary measures as given by the organization, and you are trying to spend your time somewhere else, and this caused the accidents in the organization, in the working, and again that is an indicator of your poor motivation. The fifth indicator is the leave and turnover. If the people are leaving the organizations for the reasons which are not positive reasons, if they are having good pay, if they have good working conditions, So why they are leaving? It means there is something else which need to be there in order to motivate the people to stay there. And that can be a, a praise from the supervisor, a thank you from the supervisor, a pat in the back by the seniors. So that is something that can motivate the staff. So labor turnover, if the people are leaving, a number of people leaving within a year, that is termed as the labor turnover, the percentage of people leaving in a year. If that number is very high, it means the staff is poorly motivated there. Then grievances. If there are more grievances of the workforce and there are more union disputes within that organization between the management and the union, it means again the staff will not be motivated. And the last indicator is the poor response rate. Means workers do not respond very well to the orders of the seniors or the leadership and try to procrastinate, try to avoid the work. Again, this will indicate that the staff is poorly motivated. So if the staff is motivated, what would be the gains? The gains would be a reverse of all the things, all the factors which we have seen just now. That there would be, first of all, low absenteeism, there would be low labor turnover, the productivity will improve, the efficiency will improve, the people will accept the responsibility, they make the suggestions for the improvement of the processes and the products, and they will help in positive decision making. All these are the gains from the motivated staff. So see, these are all the reverse of those things where the people are not motivated. So having discussed the motivation, as we said, it's the inner drive that comes from within a person and that directs him to attain the goals. So for these, there have been a lot of theorists who have researched a lot on the topic of motivation and presented their theories, and we'll see some of these theories and how they suggested to improve the motivation of the people. So first of all, the first pack is termed as content theories of motivation. Basically, these theories focus on the assumption that individuals are motivated by the desire to fulfill their inner needs. And these theories focus on those human needs that energize and direct human behavior. And the needs are there, always there. First, needs is the physiological needs. Means you need to eat something, to drink something, to live somewhere. And when these needs are fulfilled, then you move on to do something to attain, like security, like esteem, like recognition. All these things come after these physiological needs. If you are hungry, you don't need to have good relationship with the people. You just need the food. So whenever that need is fulfilled, then you think of something else. And so these content theories are based on the needs of the human and on those needs which are there to energize the people. And this will tell how managers can create such conditions that allow workers to satisfy those needs. First theory was given by the Frederick W. Taylor, and he's also known as the father of scientific management. He researched, he made serious attempts to analyze what are the things there which motivate the workers. It, that select some workers to perform a certain task. And in the second step, observe them performing the task and note the key elements of it. In third step, record the time taken to do each part of the task. So what are the critical elements? Then what is the time taken to do each part of the task? And since the same task is performed by certain workers, maybe their methods are different from one group to another group. So what he says identify the quickest method recorded. So you have recorded different methods, and what is the quickest? You have with you that this method is method A, B, C. Method A is the quickest method. Now what he suggests, he says that train all workers in this quickest method and do not allow them to make any changes to it. So you have made a certain method, the quickest method, and now after the selection of that method, you have trained all the workers and changes are not allowed in this method. After the implementation of that method, then you have to supervise all the workers that they are carrying out that method in the best way. And in the last step, he suggests that pay your workers on the basis of the results. And that makes the basis of theory of economic man, which we'll see a little while, the theory of economic man. So this scientific approach is in these days also termed as method study. And this method study is also combined with another study which is termed as time study. And when we combine method study and time study both, that makes time and motion study. And that is the very recent approach, time and motion study, which is implemented in many organizations in order to identify what are certain motions which are basically creating extra time, which are taking extra time, which are the wastage of time. And then we calculate the critical task, critical elements of the tasks, and we try to implement those tasks and try to avoid those motions which are just taking the time. Like if the tea break is 10 minutes and we take 15 minutes in the tea breaks, it means 5 minutes are being taken as extra, and that is the loss of time, that is the wastage of time. So that time and motion study has been implemented in many organizations and still it is implemented. So as we said that pay workers on the basis of the results, that makes the basis of theory of economic man. And what is the theory of economic man? A man was driven or motivated by money only. And the only factor that can stimulate further effort was the chance of earning extra money. So that theory of economic man was given by the Taylor. Means the only factor which can motivate the workers is the money. And we'll see whether this theory was correct or not, or how much role does it play in motivating the workers. And on the basis of this theory of economic man, we have, or the Taylor suggested, the piece rate plan. Piece rate plan is paying the workers a certain amount for each unit produced. Like if the pay is $1 per unit and the workers produce 50 units of a certain thing in a day, so he will be paid $50. because the piece rate plan for each unit produced. So that plan, we'll discuss that plan at length in a while. So what is the practical relevance of Taylor's work in the modern industry, in the today's industry? So economic man, still it is believed in the modern world that money is the only way to motivate the staff. But if we look deeply into this, in some cases, yes, the money motivates the staff, but that motivation remains for a very short period of time. And afterwards, the impact of that money goes away. अगर आज एक शख्स को पे रेज मिला है, लाइक उसकी पे पहले 30,000 थी और अब 35,000 हो गई है, तो ये 5,000 से वो मोटिवेट होगा, बिल्कुल होगा, लेकिन इस 5,000 का असर मैक्सिमम 2 महीने या 3 महीने तक रहेगा. उसके बाद इस एक्स्ट्रा जो 5,000 उसको मिलना शुरू हुआ, इसका असर, इसकी वजह से जो मोटिवेशन थी वो खत्म हो जाएगी. क्यों? बिकॉज ऑफ द इन्फ्लेशन. बिकॉज कि इस 5,000 के बढ़ने की वजह से वो अपनी नीड्स को भी बढ़ा लेगा. पहले अगर वो जो चीजें नहीं खरीदता था, अब क्योंकि उसको पता है कि मेरी 5,000 पे बढ़ गई है, तो अब वो चीजें भी खरीदेगा जो पहले नहीं खरीदता था. लाइक अगर वो हफ्ते में 2 दफा फ्रूट लेके आता था, तो अब वो 3 दफा ले आएगा. और अल्टीमेट क्या होगा कि 2 महीने बाद उसको पता चलेगा कि उस 5,000 का असर तो खत्म हो गया. तो जनरलाइज्ड व्यू ये है कि हाँ, इट मोटिवेट्स द स्टाफ, बट क्योंकि वर्कर्स की या लोगों की एक वाइड रेंज ऑफ नीड्स होती हैं, सिर्फ एक मनी ही नीड नहीं है. मनी से तो कुछ नीड्स आपकी फुलफिल हो सकती है ना, बाकी तो नहीं हो सकती. तो फिर यस, इट मोटिवेट्स द स्टाफ, बट द इम्पैक्ट रिमेन्स फॉर अ वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, और उसके बाद इसका इम्पैक्ट खत्म हो जाता है. फिर टेलर ने कहा कि सिलेक्ट द राइट पीपल फॉर द जॉब. तो यहां पे क्या उसने कहा कि आपने लोगों को सिलेक्ट करना है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द जॉब, कि भाई ये जॉब कौन से लोग परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, कौन से उनके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं जो होने जरूरी हैं, क्या उनका एक्सपीरियंस है, क्या उनका नॉलेज होना चाहिए, तब वो ये जॉब परफॉर्म कर सकेंगे. तो ये सिग्निफिकेंस पहले तो नहीं थी, लेकिन अब वक्त के साथ साथ इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस बढ़ती गई. अब जो रिक्रूटमेंट होती है और फिर जो सिलेक्शन प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं, उन्हीं में यही चीज़ें देखी जाती हैं कि केयरफुली उसको आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि क्या हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट के मुताबिक जिसको हम सिलेक्ट करने जा रहे हैं, वो शख्स उनको पूरा कर सकेगा कि नहीं, काम कर सकेगा कि नहीं. फिर उन्होंने कहा ऑब्जर्व एंड रिकॉर्ड द परफॉर्मेंस. अब आजकल तो ये, जैसे मैंने अभी जिक्र किया, टाइम एंड मोशन स्टडी. टाइम एंड मोशन स्टडी में होता ये है कि ऑब्जर्व करते हैं और उनकी परफॉर्मेंस को रिकॉर्ड करते हैं और टाइमिंग को नोट करते हैं कि भाई कहाँ कहाँ पे आइडल टाइम आ रहा है, और फिर उस आइडल टाइम को एलिमिनेट करके परफॉर्मेंस को मजीद इंप्रूव किया जाता है. तो ये एक ऐसी टेक्निक है जो स्टिल अभी भी अप्लाई की जा रही है मुख्तलिफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में. और ये टाइम एंड मोशन स्टडी इवन सैब्रो इंडस्ट्रीज में, जो इस्लामाबाद में है, सैब्रो इंडस्ट्रीज में मैंने खुद टाइम एंड मोशन स्टडी अप्लाई करके तो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस इंप्रूवमेंट करके उनको दी. स्टिल एप्लीकेबल है. फिर टेलर साहब ने कहा कि एस्टैब्लिश द बेस्ट मेथड फॉर डूइंग अ सर्टेन जॉब, जिसको हमने मेथड स्टडी का नाम दिया. तो ये स्टिल अभी भी आपकी मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज में इस चीज को एक्सेप्ट किया जाता है, और एक ही टास्क को डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल से परफॉर्म करवाया जाता है, और जो बेहतर तरीके से परफॉर्म करता है, ज्यादा एफिशिएंटली, ज्यादा इफेक्टिवली, लेसर टाइम में उस मेथड को अडॉप्ट कर लिया जाता है और उसी मेथड पे बाकी सबको ट्रेन किया जाता है, राइट? मतलब उनसे फीडबैक भी लिया जाता है। पहले तो ये फीडबैक वाला चक्कर नहीं था, अब तो ये भी शुरू हो गया। वर्कर्स की पार्टिसिपेशन बड़ी इंकरेज की जाती है इसमें। और लास्टली जो उन्होंने कहा कि पीस रेट पेमेंट प्लान आपने अडॉप्ट करना है, तो ये पीस रेट पेमेंट प्लान शुरू में तो शायद चलता हो, लेकिन ये कोई बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसा कोई सिस्टम नहीं है या ऐसा प्लान नहीं है जो बहुत ज़्यादा इंडस्ट्रीज में चल सके। अब वो क्यों नहीं चल सकता? क्यों नहीं चल सकता? क्योंकि अगर पीस रेट पे हम पेमेंट करना शुरू कर देंगे तो लोग क्या करेंगे, वो ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस करने की तरफ चल पड़ेंगे। तो क्या होगा कि फिर बाकी सारा कुछ एक तरफ, यानी क्वालिटी भी फॉरगो हो जाएगी, वेस्टेज ऑफ मटेरियल होगा, वेस्टेज ऑफ अदर थिंग्स होगा, और क्या होगा कि उनका आउटपुट सिर्फ ये होगा कि हमने ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स बनाने हैं, और उनका कोई गोल ही नहीं होगा, राइट? और नेचुरली अगर कोई चेंज आ रही है, कोई इंप्रूवमेंट लाना चाह रहे हैं, तो वो उसको भी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि चेंज या इंप्रूवमेंट से क्या होगा कि उनको नए सिरे से सीखना पड़ेगा, और उनके जो नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस्ड हैं मे बी शुरू में कम हो जाएं, विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम दैट कैन इंप्रूव, लेकिन उनको यही लगेगा, वर्कर्स को ये लगेगा कि इससे हमारा नुकसान होगा। तो वो फिर इस सिस्टम को भी, चेंज को भी एक्सेप्ट करने को तैयार नहीं होते। तो इसलिए ये जो पीस रेट सिस्टम है, पीस रेट जो पेमेंट सिस्टम है, ये को बहुत ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल नहीं है इन मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज। मतलब शुरू में अप्लाई किया गया, लेकिन अभी भी कुछ इंडस्ट्रीज में होता है अप्लाई, लेकिन ज़्यादातर मॉडर्न इंडस्ट्रीज जो हैं, जो डेवलप्ड इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, वहाँ पे ये बड़ा मुश्किल हो गया है, जहाँ पे इवन आपकी मैकेनाइजेशन हो गई है और मशीनों पे ज़्यादा काम हो रहा है, तो वहाँ पे भी बहुत मुश्किल हो गया है कि भी आइडेंटिफाई कर सकें कि किस शख्स ने कितना आउटपुट दिया है। तो वहाँ पे भी ये पीस रेट जो पेमेंट सिस्टम है वो मुश्किल हो गया है। तो ये टेलर साहब की रेलेवेंस थी मॉडर्न इंडस्ट्री के साथ। तो यहाँ पे हम ख़त्म करते हैं। इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट हम नेक्स्ट थ्योरिस्ट जो हैं उनको लेकर चलेंगे और उनको डिस्कस करेंगे।